guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new or simply not yet subscribed, I'm Brittany, and definitely make sure to hit that subscribe button. We're going to be talking about this couple that, they started as this, they were the perfect couple. Everybody loved them. They started creating a family, they had their first kid, and the husband definitely came off as this very supportive husband until he didn't. And I'm talking about Matt and Abby. They have found themselves over the last, I want to say 2 years, in quite a bit of different controversies. I just want to say, I don't personally know them. They could be the sweetest people on earth. I think that Abby seems really sweet. I don't know, but Matt seems to rub people the wrong way a lot. So one of the controversies, just to kind of give you guys a little bit of a background, is that they had went on a cruise. Matt and Abby had rented separate rooms to stay with their children separately, which is a little strange, but they decided to use a baby monitor and leave their children separately in separate rooms so they could go do fun things. They also mentioned that they didn't trust the daycare there. So you're going to leave your child by themselves when they're really, really young. Haven't we learned anything from the different unsolved true crime cases that have happened? You think you're on a cruise ship, you think everything's safe, there's nowhere they could go. There's several disappearances on cruise ships. So Matt is usually the one that's rubbing people the wrong way more frequently, opposed to Abby. And he has recently just announced that he's going to be doing a podcast. And during this announcement of the podcast, which I'll play you his announcement.
This is super embarrassing, but I've been sleeping in our walk-in closet for the past month now. This is our guest bedroom mattress that I dragged all the way from our guest bedroom into here. And my wife's not a huge fan of this arrangement. Obviously, I don't know a spouse that would be stoked. This decision that I made was something I had to do just to prioritize my mental health because I was not okay. I was really struggling. I was feeling awful, and that's why I'm here. Secrets out.
Clearly he's saying that he's sleeping in a closet and he's used the guest room mattress because he needs to prioritize his mental health. And people did not take well to this. They also, on their own podcast, had came out saying that, they're sleeping in separate rooms, and Abby makes a joke saying, does that mean we're getting divorced? He's like, what?
Abby and I are sleeping in separate beds.
Does this mean that you're separating from me?
What?
Let's take that out.
I love being married.
I want to die in that house.
Here you are talking about death, and you always get on me about talking about death.
You talk about it in the context of dying with me still here.
That's probably going to happen.
Please
Statistically,
stop
that's going to happen.
That.
Loneliness as an adult, it is an epidemic in our society. Everything was handed to us in college, but then we leave and we're lonelier than we've ever been in our entire lives.
And reading through the comments, there is a very general consensus that people are this happened, something similar happened right before my parents got divorced, or they stopped talking, they were less intimate, and intimacy doesn't just mean that. So, from my personal opinion, I don't think sleeping apart is healthy in a relationship. I understand that there are times, that's Freya. I understand that there's times where you need to because, up until Freya, Jeff and I hardly ever slept apart. Freya does not sleep. She doesn't. And with Sebastian, I was the one who always got up. With Freya, I went through losing my parents. It really affected me. It affected my mental health quite a bit. And with everything, I was I don't have the strength to always be the one getting up this time with how bad she sleeps. Because Sebastian didn't sleep great either. But, so Jeff does step in and he does take her when she's not sleeping. We always start off in the same bed. We just might not end in the same bed by the end of the night because if she wakes up in the middle of the night, he will bring her downstairs and sit with her in the chair because if he's in bed with her while trying to put her back to sleep, he will fall asleep. But if he's in the chair, he can stay awake longer. But this is just completely choosing to sleep separate from your spouse. It's such a hard topic because they do have 2 really young kids, and he even mentions like she's not okay with this. So it's not like, I don't know, it rubs me the wrong way how they're going about it, but they're not my relationship. So I'm just curious what you guys think about this. There are a few comments scattered in there that's like, you know, my husband and I have slept in the separate beds for X amount of years and it's great. We love it because like he snores and I can't sleep because he's snoring, or he gets up for work really early. I know people have different reasons for doing so, and maybe that works for you. But personally for me, I don't think that it strengthens your relationship at all. I think if anything, it damages it more. There was a point where I was in a relationship where, and this was obviously before Jeff, where I wanted to spend more time together. And he had told me that, well, we sleep next to each other. We also live together. It's like, but that's not spending time together. But I do think that there is some sort of bond that you create when you're sleeping next to the one that you love. And that it creates this separation when you're not. I just thought it was kind of interesting. I think it's a really interesting way to start your podcast. I think that, you know, it is going to garner the attention that they were expecting it to get. I don't think they're surprised that so many people are like, my gosh, I can't believe that you guys are sleeping apart. Like, you're gonna get divorced when one's back getting his own apartment.
So many comments are like, my parents did this and they divorced 10 years ago.
It's so different when you have a newborn. Okay, he's not a newborn,
Well,
but when you have a baby that's like not sleeping through the night.
Well, okay, I know we're not gonna get divorced, but I think it's kind of a little bit also funny because these people don't realize that of our awake hours of the day, which are arguably probably more important for building a relationship that's strong, we're together 95% of our awake hours.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, probably more like 98%.
We're honestly together too much, to be honest. You've been so much happier because you've been actually sleeping and you haven't been waking up as much. And then I'm able to sleep in if Griffin's up all in the night, but you can't.
We cuddle before we go our separate ways, and I literally am just in there to sleep.
And we're still having which is pretty great. Okay.
I think that I insinuated that when I said we cuddle.
I didn't know that cuddling does not mean
We're not putting
it.
that on the internet.
Okay.
I don't think that is unexpected. I think they're getting exactly the reaction that they were hoping to get. Like I said, I don't know them. They could be the sweetest couple in the world. And, you know, they do share a lot of themselves online, which people like to criticize. That's human nature today. We like to point out what somebody's doing wrong. But let me know down below if you think that it's healthy to sleep apart from your spouse. Like, I don't mean, you know, you go on a girls' day or like a girls' weekend or a boys' weekend or whatever. Like, you know, the boys go fishing, the girls go to the spa, and, you know, you're apart for one night. I don't mean that. I mean an every night basis. I know sleep is really important for your mental health, but from my understanding before, from videos that they posted, they were sleeping in separate rooms before. Like, well, he was taking like the night shift, and for like one kid, so is the other kid sleeping fine? It's just, there's so many variants to this. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below, and make sure you like this video. If you want me to do more videos like this, I know this isn't my usual like paranormal stuff, but if you want me to do more, make sure you hit that like button, and also make sure you're subscribed. And until my next video, I love you guys. Bye.